Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video we're gonna go over types of intelligent agents. At some point you guys might have wondered, like, how do intelligent systems like self-driving cars, smart assistants, or even robots decide what to do next? Well, if you don't know, they're all powered by something called intelligent agents. And today we'll break down the four main types of agents. So let's get started. So to start with the intelligent agent. An intelligent agent is like a smart computer that can understand what's happening around it. It thinks about what it knows and do things to reach certain goal. It can also learn and get better over time. So there are basically four types of intelligent agents. So let's go ahead and explore them one by one. So the first intelligent agent we have is the simple reflex agent. Okay, so simple reflex agent is something like, okay, imagine a robot that works on a very basic rules, like a machine that says, if this happens, then do that. If it doesn't think about the past, it doesn't plan for the future, it just looks at what's happening right now and it reacts. For example, here we have a picture of a vacuum cleaner robot over here. If it sees the dirt, it cleans it. There's no question asked. If it's in room A, it moves to the right. If it's in room B, it's gonna move to the left. Here's the catch. There's no memory involved over here. So if it cleans a spot like 5 seconds ago, it won't remember it. If there's a dirt somewhere else it can't see, it won't go look for it. Okay, so in short, a simple reflex agent is basically an agent that only reacts to the current situation. It has no memory, it cannot learn or adapt, it works well in simple environment. Okay, so let's move on to the second agent, which is the model-based reflex agent. So a model-based reflex agent is not like the simple one that we saw before. This one, it's not gonna just react, it's gonna remember as well. So because it has like an internal state, like a little memory that stores what it saw before. And why is that useful? Because sometimes it cannot see everything right now. Like, think of it like you're sitting inside and see raindrops on the window. You don't see the sky, but you remembered, like, oh, last time I saw raindrops like this and it was raining. So even like without seeing the rain directly, you figured it out, right, that it's rain. So that's what this agent does. It uses a model of how the world works, like cause and effect, to make better decisions. So in short, a model-based reflex agent, it has memory, like the internal memory, and handle situations where it cannot see everything. It uses a world model to guess what's happening and is more adaptable than the simple one that we saw in the first one. So let's move on to the next agent, which is goal-based agent. So this type of agent, it's not just gonna react or remember, it's gonna think ahead. It has a goal in mind that it has to reach, and each time it's gonna ask itself, will this action help me get closer to my goal? Instead of just like acting on what it sees, the agent evaluates like different options and chooses the one that moves it towards its goal. So for example, take an example of a self-driving car. So its goal here is to reach a destination, but at each intersection it thinks, like, should I go left, should I go right, should I go straight? But it's gonna eventually end up picking the path that brings it closer to the goal. Okay, so these agents, they need to plan, think about the result of their action, and adapt based on what's happening around them. So in short, a goal-based agent, it has a clear objective, evaluates action based on how well they help reach the goal, and it requires planning and decision making, and it can adjust based on the changing conditions. All right, so this brings us to our last agent, which is utility based agent. So a utility based agent, this agent, you know, it doesn't ask the question like the previous one, like will this action help reach my goal? That was for the goal agent. But here, this one, instead it's gonna ask like, how good is this result for me? Okay, it's not just about getting there, it's about getting there happily and wisely. So, you know, like let's take an example of a hotel booking AI. Okay, so its goal is to find a hotel, but which one it's gonna choose it from, like from hotel A, B, or C. So, you know, it has 3 options, but it's gonna start first by comparing. Like it's gonna compare the price, it's gonna compare the rating, the pricing, the distance. So like, and then it's gonna ask itself which one is affordable, which one has a good location, and which one has good reviews. So the agent gives a score to each option, and this score, you know, it's called utility. So, you know, then it picks the one with the highest overall utility. Like, so after like analyzing the whole thing, it's gonna choose the one with the highest overall utility, like balancing between price, comfort, and quality, right? So like these agent uses a utility function. So this is basically a system to rate how useful or satisfying an outcome is. This allows them to make smarter or more human-like decisions that consider multiple factors at once. So in short, utility-based agent, you know, it doesn't just focus on reaching the goal, it focuses on how good or useful the outcome is. It uses a utility function to compare options, and its aim is to maximize the overall satisfaction. Alright, so let's move on to the last agent, which is learning agent. Okay, so learning agent, this agent doesn't just follow rules or pick the best outcomes. It actually learns and improves over time based on what happens. A learning agent has 4 main parts with a special job. So the first one is the learning element. So the learning element means it learns from its past experience. And the second one is the critics. So critics, they give feedbacks like what worked well, or like try something else. The third one is the performance element. This is the decision maker. It chooses what to do. And the last one is the problem generator. It suggests new things to try so that the agent keeps improving. So we have this learning cycle over here, and while the agent is working, this cycle keep on improving and like keep on flowing, because the agent like keeps learning from its experience. So like, you know, an example of this would be a chess playing AI. At first it may lose a lot, but after each game it analyzes like what worked and what it didn't work. Like, so the critics, it gives feedback. Like for example, it's gonna say, oh, you lost because you exposed your king. So then the learning element updates the strategy, right, accordingly. So the next time it plays, it performs better. So over time the agent becomes stronger and smarter because because it is learning from its experience. So, you know, in short, a learning agent, it's gonna improves over time, and it learns from the feedbacks, it explores new strategies, and it is great for complex changing environment like games, robots, or real world decision making. Alright, so after explaining all this, let's go ahead and summarize this lecture. So here's the summary of the intelligent agent. The first one that we covered is the simple reflex agent, which basically reacts without thinking. It ignores, like it only responds to what's happening right now. There's no memory, there's no learning. The second one is model based reflex agent. It remembers the past. It builds a picture of the world using a memory and past experience. The third one is the goal based agent. It's gonna plan for the future. It chooses actions that move it closer to the goal, and we have utility-based agent, which chooses the best outcome, and it looks at many options and picks the one that gives the highest satisfaction or value. And the last one is the learning agent, that keeps getting smarter, and it learns from experience and feedback to improve its decision over time. Alright, so this was it for the learning agent. So now I have a question for you guys. Out of all the agents that I've covered, which one do you think Alexa is? Let me know in the comments below. And here are the solutions for the question that I asked in my previous video. So here are the answers, and I will provide the explanation to these in the description below, so make sure to check that out. So if you found this video helpful, so please subscribe, and thanks for watching. Bye.